And let me say that the minister and your team and the administration, in my view, surprised some of us on the exchange rate. When last year we were having this debate, we were doubtful about the projection that it will be 1,400 to a dollar. But now, I think it's even getting slightly less than that. Yes, it's slightly getting less than that. You see, for some of us who have been in this, we are committed to the national interest. If we are raising issues and concerns and questions, it's not because we are in opposition for the fun of it. No, we are doing so in the national interest. Now, when you do well and you have surprised, it's also appropriate to say you have tried. So, Honorable Minister, you and your members of your team are trying to at least meet up the target, which some of us were skeptical about. You should do more. And tell the President that on this call, Senator Dickson says, at least he and his federal government and all of you have done well. But you should do better, so that we get to a situation where the exchange rate was in 2023 when you people took over. But I can see the effort being made, and I thought I should commend you. The other issue I wanted to raise has been mentioned by Senator Ningi, which is why the non-release. We make a budget, we don't make a budget as an annual ritual. No. You spend all the time with the Minister of Budget, my good friend, and all of you working the federal apparatus, preparing budget to us. We sometimes even suspend our own vacations, stay for long hours, scrutinizing it, and supporting, as Senator Ninga said, everything that the federal government, the executive arm, all the support they wanted from this National Assembly, from this Senate, we have given it all. But ministry after ministry, the recurring complaint is non-release. Almost zero implementation or performance. That is very sad. So he has already said so, you need to speak to it. The other issue is you talked about shortfalls. I mean, because budget is an estimate about what you expect to get and what you think you might spend. If you don't get, you may not be able to spend. But Nigerians need to know specifically. I don't know if you said so before. I would like you to be specific about the shortfall in terms of percentage and in terms of the real figures, so that even all of us here, members of this committee and Nigerians, can understand the sort of the indices you are dealing with, the dynamics you are working with. And that will inform us to assess you better. Then you also talked about household transfers. Now, for me, a social democrat who likes emphasis on welfare, this is a laudable project. But we need to know how much. I have not seen many people, even in my constituency, I don't know if their stories is different, who says, oh, we have been receiving this. But whether it is effectively done and how we can oversight is another issue. But please, if you can let us know how much really are we saying has gone into this, which is a laudable thing, and I support that. Then the contractors' liabilities. Today you are lucky that you freely drove into this National Assembly with members of your team. Maybe the Contractor Association are not aware that you are coming. And they better not know, Chairman, until they have left. They have left us. But whatever you do here, it is we they come to worry. And rightly so, because we are their representatives. So please, now that you are here, can you speak to the challenges you have? I don't believe that you are doing so deliberately. I've been chief executive myself. But this is an opportunity for you and the government to explain once again the challenges you are grappling with. Include perhaps the issue of that Senator Ningi talked about. That is that centralized system. And I think the Accountant General should be here. I've not seen him before. Okay, he's here. Okay, good. Okay, fantastic, good. So maybe speak to us so that Nigerians and contractors will be more enlightened. Because these contractors you are seeing, they are the people we represent. Then oil and gas revenues, Honorable Minister. Can we have the shortfall level and your performance level? And then the issue Senator Abiru raised about the debt servicing. Thank you very much. Chairman, thank you very much.
Senator Siri. Because the exchange rate is 1,700 or 2,000. If it has come down now to 1,300, you can purchase the water without, you can purchase that same bottle of water maybe at 70 naira. So we shouldn't be carried away by paper money illusion. It's about the purchasing power. Yeah. Therefore, for me, we shouldn't bother ourselves about whether naira is appreciating or depreciating. It is not just the factor of the numbers, it's about what it was meant to achieve. That said, so I commend the CBA governor, and I hope the National Assembly should continue to encourage him to sustain whatever tools he's deploying, so that the naira can continue to appreciate and the quality of life will be better, inflation will come down, and this government will have a much more mass-based support. That said, when the minister said, Mr. Chairman, sir, that the debt servicing turned out to be higher than was expected, I had a problem with that. Because by the time you are doing the budget, you know how much you owe, and you know the cost of servicing these debts. So how could you have a shock such that what you thought you would pay to service debts came short of, and so you spent more than was projected? That doesn't readily, it's not self-explanatory, because debts are what you have incurred before. You know the profile. You know who you are credited to, whether it's in naira, in dollar, or euro, and therefore it is reasonable to have 100% appreciation of your debt obligation. The question for us is not whether you should service those debts, but how could you have made error in terms of if I borrow 100 naira from chairman, 200 naira from the computer expert, so they told me, even though he has no network, and so on and so forth. If I'm going to calculate how to pay, but I know what I owe each of them, whether in foreign or local currency, and then I can do correct projection. So how could you have underestimated this? 2, I think what we are dealing with now, in whatever way it is put by my distinguished colleagues, is serious issues of trust. And once trust is broken, at the heart of anything is trust, because there's always be a gap between when you make a decision and it attracts support and when you have to translate it. Now, Mr. Chairman, if you go through the high side of the Senate, recorded contributions by senators, including the chairman of appropriation, you had repeatedly told us, and the senators were unanimous, that every borrowing, let me talk slowly, every borrowing should be used only for capital project. I can bring back those minutes and you will see that was the argument put to us where you proposed to borrow. And on that basis, we approved on the understanding that when we are paying back, our children will see the capital project for which this money was borrowed. The money should never be used for recorded expenditure. I know we made that as a condition for approval of all the loans or bonds or whatever is it that you requested for to meet your obligation. As it stands, you have borrowed those money, and yet the evidence from all the FDAs is that those capital projects did not benefit from the borrowing. Why is it so?
1 more minute, sir. 1 more minute, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Did it allow so that me and you will belong to the same club of short people who pity me small.
1 minute more, sir.
Now, I ask a question Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
let me report myself. I asked this question to a wrong person. That is the Accountant General, who is having another mini conference now, and he may not be able to listen to me. I ask, sir, not a matter of arrogance. I have had the honor and privilege of being a chief executive of a subnational. When revenue falls short of my expectation, I reorder my priorities.
That is natural.
Now, from all that we had, at least all the committees that I attended, the recorded expenditure, most of them perform at 90%. Yeah. And that includes travels, foreign travels, local travels, training of doubtful value. I remember I asked somebody, you train people to carry out specific assignment for your ministry, some of which has to do with capital projects. Now that those capital projects were not done, what is the purpose of the training? What did you now use the skill to do? Which means a huge overhead was maintained, and the job they were meant to use those skills to translate did not perform. I would have thought, and I will need your answer on this, if revenue fall, why can't you reduce your recurrent commitment and rechannel to capital project? Because the entry point for the masses is those roads that you are doing, those hospitals you are funding, those schools that you are supporting, and all of that. Okay. So, just last one. Please have mercy on me.
It's like you are denying many of our colleagues from mastering.
All right. I conclude by just saying that there is now a big gap. Last year, sir, I was privileged to be here or in another committee. Honorable Minister, you said to us, December 31st, some things we give. And Accountant General was always there. That was the day I asked, who is this angel that can do the job that other non-angels were doing before? On that occasion, you said, by 31st December, some of these things will be done, the capital projects. Then you shift the goalpost to 31st. Now, I heard you say the capital project performed 20-something of 50%, but all the ABAs, including service chiefs, they tell us this is not the case. So I think we need to have a frank talk. We are in the room, we are in the country. Like has been said, not Dickson only made a mistake, sir, when he said it's a progressive. You are the conservatives, that's your PDP. We are the progressives.
Thank you.
So we are committed to public welfare.
You only came to pretend to join us.
Distinguished colleague.
Thank you, Chairman, for your patience.
Now, distinguished colleague.